keys to selecting a provider. So really what it comes down to is, as previously stated, TPM doesn't fit on everything, right? We can't at CX Tech, we can't come into your infrastructure and look at everything that you have in your infrastructure and say, oh yeah, there's a TPM solution for all of that, right? There isn't, right? Depending on how recently you've refreshed, your tolerance for risk, the business importance of the device. There's going to be certain devices where we say, those things are best supported on an OEM contract if it's available, right? Um, um, the idea is that, we'll do risk assessment for you. We'll help you. We'll understand the parameters that you use to judge risk, and we'll apply it to kind of our basic understanding of the risk, and then we'll come to an agreeable conclusion on what in your environment is going to be a good fit for TPM. And unless you've just refreshed everything in the past 6 months, you did a full sweep of server storage networking, there's likely going to be stuff in your environment that is going to be a fit for TPM. The key components of a TPM provider are going to be high quality replacement parts, right? At the end of the day, that's the thing that most people are concerned with. That's the thing that your OEM resellers and your anti-TPM sellers are going to focus on the fact that TPMs are basically just taking used parts, right? They're just buying skids full of used junk from people, and then they're just cherry picking all the the parts that fail, and then they're just sending them to you. And nothing could be further from the truth in terms of the way it works. We have a whole vetted process in terms of when we bring stuff into our environment, everything gets tested and vetted and checked for quality, and we stand behind that product, right? So that's usually the biggest objection that we hear from buyers is, that, oh, you guys are just, you're using used parts, right? And they may be used, but they are going to be quality parts that we stand behind. And if you're familiar with our Equal to New brand at CX Tech, all that same stuff that applies to our Equal to New brand also applies to Rapid Care. You're also going to want to make sure that there's competent technical support available for your device in terms of break fix, and then capable field delivery, right? Those are really the delivery components to really be concerned about, and something that you really want to vet for with your providers. And then replacement parts, right? In terms of the stocking methodology on that, in terms of maintaining an inventory, which we do. We've got 2 very large warehouses that we distribute out of that we use to forward stock and send parts out into the field closer to the delivery points to meet the SLAs, as opposed to a just-in-time model, right? Where you've got, potentially a vendor that is just sourcing and drop shipping to you, right? That's probably not going to be the best fit for your environment. See, I'm checking the notes here, see if there's anything I didn't cover here. And using a TPM should really be something that you take a solutioning approach to, right? Because TPM, as stated now for the 5th time, doesn't present itself as a universal solution for your infrastructure, right? It can be applied to certain elements of your infrastructure, and that's what you should be working with your TPM provider to do, is to have that dialogue, the conversation. We've got tools here at CX Tech to help you understand that. But it shouldn't just be a game of arbitrage, right? Send out a list, get a bunch of quotes, and then choose the lowest price. Because, unless you are absolutely 100% sure on the fitness for TPM, which I found, very few buyers in the marketplace are 100 up to speed on exactly the risk profile that every infrastructure device presents itself, then you're exposing yourself to risk, right? So we at CX Tech will guide you through the risk process, right? In terms of, and it's a dialogue, it's a solutioning approach in terms of, what's your risk tolerance, what's your use case for the device, how long do you plan to hang on to it? And what are the business drivers ultimately, right? Does this business unit want to keep this storage array running for another 5 years? They don't want to upgrade it. You don't want to go through an expensive data migration project to move it to something new. Um, then that array might be a great fit, right? In terms of we can put that array under TPM and still have SLA driven support on it, right? But it's something that you should ask questions about, have your eyes wide open, and really understand, what you're doing when you engage with a TPM provider.